this stream as a proviso. You probably still want to download this as soon as it's uploaded, because my videos have just been taken down constantly now, and loads and loads of them have been demonetized, and just like my YouTube earnings have gone right down, which is a pretty pretty bad this time of year with the Christmas and everything coming up. But here we are. What else can I do? I can't keep my mouth shut on these things that are happening and what I see around me. So again, just in case this one is taken down, just save a copy and put it up on BitChute or Odyssey or one of the other ones, like some of you have been doing, which I'm very grateful for. Thank you for doing that. Although I think this one, because of it's on this channel, I've got a ban from my other channel from the last video. Because it's on this channel, I think it automatically streams directly into the Odyssey channel. So there's every good chance that this will be saving automatically right now. But anyway, this is where we are. I mean, it's just crazy. I should just be allowed to say what I want to say. And I looked at the last video and I played it for some people, and they said there was nothing on that video of the one about the science. There was nothing on that video that was in any way controversial. It was just in terms of anything radical, and it just had to be taken down. It's just unbelievable, and because of that, they've demonetized loads and loads of my older videos, loads of them. I mean, even long ones. So what can I do? I just wish I'd have done it on the other side of Christmas, but that's life. Anyway, what was I going to say? Tonight on the Beyond Room 313 on Timony's show, The Week in Strange, we're going to have a very important show tonight. It'll be the most important one we've done since the series started, and probably will be one of the most important broadcasts of 2021. So it's live on Facebook at 9 a.m. Irish time, which I think is 1 p.m. West Coast US time. And also it'll then be immediately, a little while later in the evening, uploaded to the Beyond Room 313 YouTube channel. So, but if you still have a Facebook account, get onto the live stream there, and the comments should be quite interesting, and a fascinating discussion should take place, as well as how we're going to do the show. And it's directly because of what I'm going to basically bring it up here quickly. You've seen my video 9/11 Stargate, the presentation I gave at AV9, I think it was, in England a few years ago. And in that I spoke about how the psychic shock of the 9/11 event was so powerful that it blew back in time, so it blasted back in time. Now, and it was picked up by artists, and it was picked up by mostly people like that, and there's numerous examples of how artistic people and others picked up the 9/11 shockwave before it happened as a time loop. Now, that's because it was a gigantic effect upon the human consciousness. So, in recent days, the new version of the Rona has been come out. I won't say the name, but you know what it's about. And some people discovered immediately some shockwaves on that one coming back. One was an Italian movie from the 1960s, which is kind of like a farcical comedy in a way. And I watched it the other night, but the underlying story is that it's about the possession of human beings, a kind of a Wetiko type thing, from another world that comes in management of, well, one of the workers, but primarily the management of an Italian factory. And it's not deep sci-fi or anything like that. We'll talk about this in deep depth in Beyond Room 313. And the other one is a video game of David Bowie, where it talks about human beings will have to stand up against, the ones that are not asleep will have to stand up against the demonic force that runs the world. Now, I've been waiting since the whole thing started for time loops and shockwaves. They never showed up. Now, the only place that you could find them was very much in David Bowie's video for Godstar. Well, not Godstar, that's Genesis PR's Black Star. And there's a video on Beyond Room 313 where we lay that out, our feelings about that. And definitely, you could see that Bowie was switched on and tapped into that. Being the kind of artist that he is, it was, well, he's still with us working from the other side, and that's why this stuff comes up now. And his own, involvement with the cult and everything, so he's fully aware of the game we were playing. And, the end of his life was a gigantic chaos magic ritual. Now, we have a situation now where it's come back. Now, it only comes back when it's colossal during the event. So like the sinking of the Titanic appeared in a novel called The Sinking of the Titan. And the whole thing was set up, was done like that. The whole story was the Titanic, but the name of the ship was the Titan. And all the other facts were the same as what happened to the real ship. That was the novel blew back in time. And was picked up because of the collective shock the Titanic sinking for some reason had upon human psychosis. So this current strain variant is the end game. Why, I don't know. How, I don't know. But this is the pivotal one. This is, and it's the timing is all, like I said, we'll know by next spring. And we keep hearing the February thing over and over again. So we better brace ourselves for possibly something colossal happening on a global scale in March, February, spring. And colossal by that I mean like something that shook humanity to its fundamental core, like the 9/11 thing did. Now, that's all for tonight. This discussion for tonight on Beyond Room 313, The Weak and Strange, a Timony show. Now, regarding, you see, we in the tribe, because we have a belief in the soul, we instinctively know that there are forces outside this material domain which impact upon the material domain, the material realm. And these forces are not human as such. And you can call them the Jinn, the Wetiko, the Archons, reptilians, the fairies. You can call them the Nagas, the Devas. You can call them whatever you want. The Penelagans. Anything you want, you can call them that. But they impact upon this reality profoundly. And through all traditions, the story is all the same. They are not human. They operate or exist in a kind of a low functional level where things such as base human emotions, fear, terror, sex, fright, anxiety, depression, pain appeals to them. And this is almost like the energy that they harvest. And they have a distinctive aspect within them where they harvest this energy from humans who are going through an awful time or a difficult time or an intense time. Forces that we should be using for our own magical development and building our charisma. Unfortunately, they take it because we're not told how to protect our psychic firewall. Well, until people like Mika came along. Now, these individuals that run the globalization thing on behalf of the secret unknowns, we don't know what they are. So were generally psychopathic in nature. They were enjoying the experience of hurting us, and you can definitely see that with the individuals running each country right now as part of the WW4 agenda, that they're enjoying the pain, they're sexually aroused by it. The health ministers in every country are smirking when they're talking about the lockdowns and restrictions And you know there are certain politicians out there, you look at them and you know they're covered in their own jizz after they've implemented the latest laws to lock us down. And it's sexually turning them on. Now this is sadomasochistic thing. Now that's quite new, actually, to be honest with you, and you see that in demonic forces in Santeria and stuff like that. Now, but there's something more to it. There's a lascivious, smirking, salivating look to them. You look at someone like Fauci in America, and he's smirking and smiling, and he's practically lipping his lips at the deliciousness of it all. They're not only being uncompassionate to the suffering they're causing, but they're also sexually turned on and aroused by it. But it goes one step further. They're enjoying it like little children. Now, this would suggest to me that something has happened. We've moved from a situation of psychopaths in positions of power doing this on behalf of the secret unknowns, to the point now where they are the secret unknowns. They are the Jinn, they are the Wetiko, they are the Archons, they are the Devas, they are the Nagas, they are the whole plethora, the Slawira, the Irish blood fairy, inside these things. And they're feeding upon, but also doing it in real time, as if this power force, this pathological supernatural power force behind the world has jumped into the psychopaths in society. Now, this is probably something that will be the fatal flaw, because it's becoming increasingly obvious, even to dumb Irish people, that the likes of Neffet are actually enjoying and sexually turned on by increasing more and more restrictions. When the new variant recently was announced from Africa, they were like little kids who on Christmas Day when they found their toys below the tree. And this is what they're like. This is what these infected ones, these coronzonic accumulators, are like. They've reached a new stage in this coronzonic accumulation. That's my friend Leroy. And this coronzonic accumulation is now deeply obvious everywhere you look. So, right from the beginning, when I said it was a spiritual battle, well, it absolutely is now more than ever. You can see that more and more. And something is about to happen. And the recent things regarding that Italian movie from the 1960s and the David Bowie video game is the foreshadow of what's to come. And it would only blow back to that level, especially back to the 1960s, it was absolutely monumental. So tune into The Week in Strange tonight on Facebook, or wait for it to load up on YouTube about 10:30 Irish UK time. And that's, in America, that'll be whatever time it is there. Tea time or dinner time in the East Coast, and late afternoon or whatever. No, midday in the West Coast. So you take care of yourselves now, and congratulations to those of you who dug up this stuff, because you don't know how much of a service you're doing for humanity. I would just say to everybody now, buckle up, belt up, get ready. It doesn't have to necessarily be negative. It could be incredibly positive. Maybe this could be the event that finally works in our favor. Remember, psychopaths always bite off more than they can chew, and we're seeing that now with all the things that are going on that they can't hide, and that they're only able to hide it by increasing gaslighting and more restrictions. So they're like animals backed into a corner. And what did the old Irish folklore say about demons? They lived in the corners of rooms as mildew. Maybe now it's time to clean the mildew. Sanguine Gnosis. Love yous all.